Megs, your guide on this exciting journey to mastering the art of eyebrows. Either you're a newbie or a seasoned pro, it doesn't matter. This podcast is your go-to resource for all things brows. I've gathered industry experts, insider tips, and inspiring success stories to help you enhance your skills, boost your confidence, and take your brow game to new heights. Welcome back to Brow-Education with Megs. I'm your host. Thanks for being here. Welcome, Brow-Education baddies. Today we are getting into it. Marketing pitfalls. Pitfalls. I don't know why that sounds weird coming out of my mouth right now, but we're talking shady tactics in marketing, greenwashing, and projections I have for 2024. I've talked about this before, and I'm excited to get into it. This is episode 11 of the first season of Brow-Education, and again, thank you for being here. So what do I mean by marketing pitfalls or shady tactics or greenwashing? I think greenwashing is a little bit more self-explanatory, but let's get into all of it. In this day and age, we see marketing pitfalls anywhere and everywhere. It's kind of crazy. Let's use Black Friday as an example. This was I guess it's not as much anymore, but originally Black Friday was the sale everybody waited for all year round. You stayed up late after the holiday, after eating Thanksgiving with your family, and you went either late at night or early in the morning, and you waited in line for these incredible savings that were like blow you out of the water, crazy, a quarter for a TV or something, bananas like that. And there was a reason that you were, going to these extremes to get it. And it was because the prices were that good. Well, more recently, shady marketing has happened where these sales are not what they appear. So there was a video that went viral, I think last year around that time, showing like walking around Target, and it's like Black Friday sale, and they like pulled up the little tab and behind the price, and it was like, the week before or something, it's like sale, and it was the exact same sale. They just like slapped Black Friday on it. And I've seen this before, like Amazon will have an item that's in, I don't know, February, that's like $20, and it slowly increases, and all of a sudden it's like $35, and then Black Friday rolls around and it's like $25. So it's like, did it really go on sale, or did it increase subtly and then they just dropped it back down to what it was like a few months prior? So these are the type of things I'm talking about, where they're really utilizing holidays or certain times of the year or certain wording or ads or sales, air quotes, sales, to get you to purchase their products. That's more of a generic example, of course, but no matter what, sales and marketing and all of that, at the end of the day, these are all businesses. And as, people in the industry or business owners ourselves, we understand the need for marketing, the sales of marketing, and what that is. And ultimately, you're trying to get somebody to purchase your item or your, treatment, your product, your whatever it is. And I completely understand that. But I think that sometimes they go a little step too far and they make claims that are false. And that's what we're talking about today. So these false claims, or mildly incorrect, or of course they're towing the line, or they wouldn't be able to do it at all, right? These are going to be more subtle things. One industry based that I can think of off the top of my head is from a friend of mine. She was telling me about a lamination line that was 100% waterproof. Yeah. What? What does that mean? And I asked her, what do they mean? And she's like, well, they don't have to wait 24 hours after the lamination to get their brows wet. It's waterproof. And that is the craziest claim. A crazy way of wording that, I guess, but also, oh my god, I just spit. So super fun on YouTube. It's just a bold-faced lie. Is the product waterproof? No. Can you get your brows wet after lamination? Yes. But that's with any line, not just this line. But that business knew that to be true, chose that factual information, and slapped a weird claim on their products in order to get you to purchase it. Because your brain goes, oh, I want to be able to tell my clients that they can get their brows wet sooner. I'm going to buy this 100% waterproof line because that'll be perfect. And then I can market it to my clients and I can make money. Great, wonderful. You can do that with any line. Meaning you don't have to change lines if you have one that you love. You can just change how you market it, or you can change your aftercare instructions. There's so much to be said with just that example alone. That's craziness. And if we want to get into the why, if you're like, what? You can get your brows wet plus lamination? That's crazy. Go back and listen to my other podcast episode about laminations. I believe it was episode 9. I get into it. I am a firm believer that you do not need to wait 24 hours before getting your brows wet. Or the timing is less, tight. And basically what I'm saying in a roundabout way is that once you're laminated, you're not going to be unlaminated by getting them wet. So if you want more information, go listen to that episode. Anyways, that was a marketing thing that I thought of. Other, shady things can be like the sales and things like that. Making claims like, let me think. All natural greenwashing. Here we go. All natural products in the brow world. A lot of the times, all natural henna. Henna is all natural, perfect and wonderful for everybody. It's totally natural. Have it in your green salon, your green studio. I'm like trying to think of different ways to say it, but basically saying all natural. And henna is a derivative of a natural plant or extract of a plant. That is how they make henna. It's so frustrating because it's not that it's not true. It's just that it doesn't need to be natural to be beneficial. And it all depends on how you look at it. And at the end of the day, natural is just a word. It has no legitimate definition. The same way, all green or 100% plant-based, even, I think they have a lower percentage than 100% for that. Like, the rules are so gray, and at the end of the day, the only thing that we know for certain is what is on that ingredient deck. On the back of that bottle or product or whatever, you flip it over, on the box, you find that ingredient list. That is the only thing we know to be true. They can put whatever claim they want on the box. They can sell it and market it and target you however they want to. If you're vegan, a vegan line is going to be coming out, I'm sure, with a lot of lamination lines, tint lines. We've seen it kind of trickle in here and there. We're going to be seeing a lot of it in the chemical world. We're going to be seeing that, and I think we're going to be seeing all natural lamination lines and lash lift lines coming out. And it's going to be cysteamine based, which is so funny because what we have in our body is cysteine is in our body. Cysteamine is the chemical derivative. They're very similar chemical makeups, but they're not identical. But since they're so close, they get away with saying all natural. And that's because your body also creates this chemical, and the chemicals can totally be natural or similar, not natural. Don't get me wrong, don't get it twisted. They can be similar. The natural versus the artificial can be very similar. And that does not mean that the lab made one is natural or pulled from a body or whatever the hell you think natural means, pulled from, I don't know, a plant or an animal, which then goes against the veganism or whatever it may be. And here we're getting a little messier. They're going to target certain things, and it's our job to know what the ingredients mean and understanding what's really truly happening, what these would need to mean, knowing the difference between those two ingredients and understanding why they're claiming it to be natural. And that's great. There's a time and a place for cysteamine laminations, the same way there's a time and a place for a TGA system being used. And I think that they're both beneficial. I'm not saying that any of these products are not beneficial, but I feel like I want you to have the power to go and make a purchase based on, I want to carry a cysteamine product line. I want to carry a TGA product line. I want it to be vegan. I want it to be that. But I want you to make that educated purchase and not just follow along with the ad you saw on Instagram or TikTok, or an influencer or icon in our industry is boasting about. In this day and age, people get like contracts, they get affiliate programs, they get paid to recommend things. I'm not saying in any way, shape, or form that everybody is lying and everyone is only trying to get a buck out of you. That's not it at all. I'm just saying that we have to kind of be a little bit more hyper aware if it matters to you. If you don't care and you just enjoy following trends and that's the only way that your business pulls forward and that's what propels you, not projects you, propels you, that is your prerogative. I have nothing negative or judgmental in my head or opinion based or anything coming out of my mouth towards you. I'm just saying, if you're like me, I like to make educated purchases. I like to know what is in the containers, products, packages that I am using in my studio. And I do have a preference for maybe the chemical that I'm using, or the delivery system that I'm using, or the ingredients of my tint lines, or my conditioning products, or whatever it may be, and my preference for percentages of my tint activators. I don't know. There's a plethora of things that we might have an opinion on, and that should be whatever we feel right for us and our clientele and our business is what should be driving your purchases. To some, it may not matter, but I think most of us do care about what the companies are claiming and what they're saying to us. And I know I don't want to buy something and then be like, this literally said that it was a conditioning tint line that is keratin infused, and then you go and look at the ingredients and you're like, where's the keratin? Where she be at? All I see is the color ingredient, like, the binder and the emulsifier and things like that. I'm not seeing any keratin or hydrolyzed keratin or whatever it's usually listed as. And you're like, they're claiming this to be uber hydrating, and you're like, I don't see any hydrating ingredients. What the heck? So sometimes they're making these claims that are not true. And unfortunately, that is the market and landscape that we're dealing with. So I don't want that to be a problem for you, and I want you to be able to, purchase the best.
Hey, it's Emily here from Brow Fox Beauty. I'm so proud to be sponsoring this episode of Brow Education. If you are new here, let me tell you a little bit about Brow Fox Beauty. We are a professional brow line for the esthetician. We specialize in easy retail for the busy esthetician. We also have a line of better back bar basics, so you can be super confident putting pre and post wax solution and massage oil onto your client's skin, giving them the best glow and the best brows yet. You can find more information at browfoxbeauty.com or on social media at browfoxbeauty.
For you. So in 2023, I think we saw an uptick in the chemical world. Laminations and lash lifts are very popular. There is in the lamination world, this is a fun, or yeah, in the brow world, this is a fun new technique we can use to change the brow and get a little more control, as we know. The lash lifts are really great for people who are maybe allergic to lash extensions. That's really awesome. They have another option. I think it's really great for someone who wants to look really well put together without having to worry about putting on a full face of makeup every day, or if they have limited time, they're a mom and they're really busy and they just want to feel good all the time, whether they had a chance to put their face on in the morning or not, or if they had to just slap on sunscreen and go, they feel good about how they look. That is going to continue into 2024. We're going to see hybrids. I think we're going to be seeing both sides of the coin. The lamination and lash lifters, and then like the extensions and more dramatic treatments like cosmetic tattooing. We're going to see a little bit of a blend. I've been seeing a lot of like hybrid lash sets, so they're like half lash extensions, half natural lashes, or half lash extensions, half lash lifts, even, which I find so interesting. Hybrids are definitely going to be, it's going to be a lot of beauty experts putting their twist on things, which I love. And I'm so here for it. You guys are so freaking creative. I love it. I love it. And so far, I'm not saying anything negative that's going to like be harmful or anything like that. I would say something. um, we're gonna see more chemical products. I think we're gonna start seeing more hydration and hydration treatments coming out, because last year we saw a lot of new chemical lines, new tint options, and I do see a lot of tint companies switching their products and kind of reformulating. And some of that has been in the direction of the hydration. Some of them have just been like overall color changes, trying to correct and perfect their lines, which, hey, I'm all for. But I do feel like we're gonna start seeing more hydration products, like maybe aftercare products and infusion products where they're infused with like silk and hydrolyzed keratin and oil conditioners and different things like that. I think we're gonna start seeing that because we are chemically treating these hairs more than I think we have in the past. Like, more people are getting it done. So there's a bigger drive in niche looking for that hair health, looking to really take care of those people that are getting those routine chemical procedures or treatments or whatever you want to call it. We are going to see more education, as we already are. There is tons and tons of courses, and I love that for us. Most recently, I've seen a lot of like reselling stuff that you like, reselling your manual, like selling your manual to somebody who can resell it to their, or like reuse it for their clients or their students or whatever it is. The people that have been educating longer are going to have those things in place for the people that are just coming up into the educational world to purchase and then resell to, newer students or newer beauty professionals coming up. And I don't know. I feel like it's a positive and a negative. I think we're just going to see a really big influx of it. And then I think it'll be almost like a stage of burnout where the people that are like have a lot of momentum with it are going really well will continue, and then I think the people that have carved out their unique section of it will continue, and then we might see like a die off of that. I think it might get to the point where everyone's like, oh my god, enough, stop, I'm over it. And I think it might die out a little bit. I don't know how long. I don't really have a projection for that right now. It's got quite a bit of steam behind it. Why do I care about talking about this type of topic and wanting to, warn you about this style of marketing? And the number one reason is that I have bought a ton of useless stuff. I bought an entire, as of like most recent, I bought an entire tint line that is like hydrating. And don't get me wrong, like it is, the textured results in my hair, but like I hate the stain of it. I don't love the coloring options. They're very interesting and I never grab for it. But I bought the entire line, like the whole line of it, and it's just sitting there in my drawer and I won't use it. So I've also, followed somebody who would be like considered an icon in our industry or like an influencer in our industry and been like, this does not hold up, or I don't like the way this company treats me. Also, that is another reason alone. If you don't like the way the company that you're purchasing from or like interacting with, that is a reason enough to not want to carry them. I'm just going to say it. I think that is the reason enough. I've also bought products where I was like, this is awesome. And then I researched it and looked into it and I was like, oh, no, I should have done this. I should have done my due diligence before purchasing. This is not this is not aligned with me or my business or what I like to use. And that's wasted money. I tossed it. I didn't want it in my studio if it didn't align with me and my clients and what I gravitate towards and what I want to grab for and perform treatments with. And this is my way of just kind of helping you avoid doing the same. I don't want that to happen to you. I don't want you to be using products that don't align with you or don't work for you in the way that you need them to. At the end of the day, the other thing that would be really beneficial is that when we start making these changes and we start voicing these opinions, we can hold the businesses more accountable. Now, I'm not saying every business and every company I've ever worked with has lied and made claims that are bullshit and they're not true and this and that. I'm not saying that at all. I obviously still work in the industry. I obviously still have products, and I obviously still purchase products and try new things. I just said that the tint product, there was benefits, there was totally pros, there was just equally cons. And I don't want you to be fearful. Most of us are pretty transparent with our reviews and our thoughts on things. But I also feel like it's okay for you to have an opinion and only want certain things in your studio. I am one of those few brow artists who doesn't like henna. I don't use henna. I don't like carrying it. Maybe this is something I'll talk about in the future, but it's just a personal opinion. I don't like working with it. I'm not even familiar with it, so there's no reason for me to have it in my studio. That's just something I wouldn't carry. That's something that doesn't align with me, something I wouldn't purchase. Now, am I being targeted to have that? Am I being singled out somehow with advertising? No, absolutely not. And there's alternatives like hybrid tints that I can utilize to try to get a similar goal for my clients. Maybe I am not every client's cup of tea because I don't carry henna, and that's okay because there's room for everybody in this industry. Maybe there's somebody else around the corner block that's doing henna and they're crushing it. Those clients should go to them. That's wonderful. They know what they're doing. They enjoy henna. They use it and they got good results. I don't use it. Wouldn't get good results and it's not for me. So I think that there is a place for us all in this industry. We can carve out our little corner of it. We can sit ourselves down and whittle out what works for us and what doesn't work for us. And I think the only way we're going to be able to do that is by truly understanding the products we're working with, the ingredients that are inside products, and doing our own research. Or at least, if you're not willing to do the research, seek out a coach or teacher or trainer who can give you that information so that you're still have it in your Rolodex or your skill set, toolbox, whatever you want to call it. I think this is something that is so important for us just to have in our own mind toolbox, like I just said, and also just like, bolstering our own confidence of us being the expert by knowing these things. So that's my 2 cents on marketing pitfalls, shady marketing tactics, greenwashing, and 2024 projections. I am so curious your thoughts on everything that we have just gone over. As you know, I am a active person on Instagram, so if you have any thoughts and want to dive in deeper in any of these topics, feel free to reach out to me. I would love, love, love to chat. Thank you for being here. And I don't think I have any new news for the podcast, but I do have an event coming up April 7th in San Luis Obispo at The Sweet Spot with Emily, the Brow Fox, and me, the Eyebrow Goddess. And we are going to be training in brow lamination. So excited. I love this treatment, and I can't wait to share my expertise and tips and tricks that I've learned over the years, alongside Emily, who is going to also teach you her tips and tricks and what she's learned over the years as well. We will be doing live demos. I will be doing demos with my hand-tied threading method, and you're going to get both of our expertise and pick both of our brains, network with other like-minded brow artists in the area, and my manual will also be included. We'll touch on things like ingredients we just were talking about on this episode. So that is super exciting. Sign up, come see us, come learn lamination. More information on that to come. And we will also be at the Face and Body Show in Sacramento a little bit later this year. Super excited for that as well. Thank you for being here and listening to Brow Education again this week. And I hope to catch you back here next week for Tarot Tuesday. Follow, like, subscribe. Check us out on YouTube for visual podcast. We are also on Spotify and Apple Podcasts for audio. And you can find us on Instagram at Browducation and at the.eyebrow.goddess. Same username for TikTok. And you can find us at Browducation on YouTube. You can find everything about the Eyebrow Goddess and Browducation at www.theeyebrow.com. You can book a coaching call with me. You can check out the podcast. You can book a training with me, whether it be threading or lamination. I also have ebooks and e-resources for you guys. My ebook is about brow lamination and knowing the science behind the treatment and not just knowing the generic timings from brands. We want to make it brand free and let you be able to grab any line and still create killer brows. Thank you for being here. I hope you have a wonderful rest of your Thursday, and we will see you next week on Tuesday.